Sign in even though I've worked here for 12 years? You got it. So my malicious compliance started about a month ago at my workplace where I've been for the past 12 years. On the fateful day I had forgotten my key fob to buzz through the security gate. So I asked the guard, who I've known and chat to for several years, to let me though. As he was getting up, the moody older guard, some of my staff named him Nasty Nick for good reason, next to him stopped him and rudely told me to sign in. I explained that I've been working here for over a decade and I'm known to this guard so he can vouch for me. He said doesn't matter. It's a health and safety thing in case there was a fire. Not true. This is a shared building and each company is responsible for accounting for their staff. I know because I helped set up this plan with the building's owner. I explained this to him but he wasn't having it and directed me to the sign-in book, which, funnily enough, had a printed sheet which stated it was for guests only and had a line saying permanent staff should get a sticker to ID themselves. When I asked about the sticker, he said this was the new process and I had to sign in and out each time I exited the building without my fob. I asked if he was sure. He said 100%. Cue malicious compliance. The UK Health and Safety Body says that ideally, you should take a 510-minute break each hour away from your computer screen. Not wanting to get RSI or anything, I took it upon myself to take even more regular breaks, especially when Nasty Nick was on shift. So for my break I would go on short walks outside and would you know it? I am getting very forgetful in my old age and keep forgetting to bring in my fob. So each time I come to sign in, Nasty Nick would need to get up, open his door, undo his keys to buzz me in. Quite often I would forget something in my car just as he's about to let me in and he'll need to make his round trip back to the little office. My record was 13 little breaks over the day. After about 2 weeks of this, I managed to have a catch up with the younger guard and he explained that he checked and there was definitely not a need for me to sign in each time, and even better, Nasty Nick was constantly moaning about me to the other security guys about the idiot who keeps forgetting his fob. TLDR. Guard makes up own security rules, is mildly inconvenienced multiple times a day having to walk back and forth to buzz me into work. He who lives by the limp noodle, dies by the limp noodle. At my old job it didn't matter who you were. If you didn't have your card you had to be signed in by security and are then given a temp pass that you hand in at the end of your day. They would check to make sure you still worked there before you got your temp pass. Sounds like Nick needs the exercise. Keep up the good work. If you forgot your access card at my place of employment, you'd be told to turn around and go get it. While I agree that the security officer was being a dick, I am a security manager for an 18-story office block in London, and anyone who forgets their access card has to sign in for many reasons. Most of them are minor, but the key one is that security are often the last people informed if someone has left the company. It can take time for it trickle down to cancel someone's access or receive a leave notice. The security team would be held accountable if they allowed an ex-employee into the building who then went on to do something malicious. You may have been familiar with the security officer, but 30+ years in the industry has taught me not to trust anyone. However, that does not mean you, referring to the security officer in this case, have to be rude about it. Just explain the situation politely without being a dick. Nice MC though, and happy cake day. One day Andy Rooney went to work at his CBS office and forgot his ID card, and someone had to sign him in. He had been working at CBS for almost 60 years. I worked a weird off shift in my previous life that required me to sign in and out every night for actual emergency purposes because there was no management. There was an incident requiring you to go to your appointed meeting place. Mine was with those security guards. One night, there actually was an incident of potential radiation, so I shut everything down, locked everything up and headed down to security where they couldn't figure out how they became responsible for me because apparently no one who'd been there any length of time had ever had to deal with it. Day shift reported to our own managers somewhere else. They didn't make me leave, but they were awfully confused as I just sat on the floor against the wall by the radon scanners, half dozing until we were given the all clear at 3:30 a.m. I did kinda wonder why they thought I had to sign their security logs every night if it wasn't them I was reporting to. I work in security. If someone comes to the gate, they get logged in if they forget their badge. These are people that have worked there are 30 and 40 years. Those are the rules. They get a pass. And when they leave, they turn in their pass. If they came in and out 20 times a day, the same procedure applies. Can't help myself. Fateful not faithful. Dude was doing his job. If those were made-up rules, they were good ones and ones that should have quite frankly already been in place. If you work in a large multi-purpose building, it absolutely shouldn't be the security guard's job not only to remember everyone but allow the ones he thinks he knows in. It's not a fire thing, it's just in general a very basic security access thing, and you should feel bad for abusing someone over it. You literally bullied someone for no good reason. I would be demanding the sticker. My job, we leave a rock in the door in case you forgot your fob. No security guard. Most of the time that rock is there off hours. We probably need nasty Nick. I don't understand your thinking here. One security guard was rude to me one time by incorrectly remembering protocol and making me sign in. So I spent the next 2 weeks shirking my work and wasting my own time, so that it would waste a tiny bit of his time. I sure got him. Quote, "This isn't one of those feel-good MCs. This is just someone kinda being a DBAG to the only guy there who's trying to do his job." Faithful day, R. Bone apple tea. I'd make you sign in. I wouldn't be a dick about it, but no id card equals sign the sheet. Idiotic. The writing and the supposed malicious compliance. I get it, but just because the guard has known you for a decade doesn't mean he knows for a fact you weren't terminated just the day before. If you showed up the next day to put a bullet in your former boss, and he had just waved you in without a fob, he's gonna be out of a job too. Except it is true. You need a record of everyone in the building in case of fire or any other reason to evacuate. Without a list of people in the building, Fry won't know how many bodies are missing. Fire marshal. Is that everyone? HR. According to our data, yes. Fire marshal. Okay, wrap it up. Let's head home. Op whispers, help, from beneath a collapsed wall. Have you thought of not forgetting your key fob, and not being a dick?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.